Hello everyone, my name is Braden Chase and welcome to English Hackers. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about proficiency versus grammar knowledge, grammatical knowledge. Now when I talk about grammatical knowledge, what I mean is the memorization of the rules of a language. So is this a verb? Is this a noun? Is this a preposition? Is this an adverb? Is it an adjective? Whatever. How do you conjugate this verb? Which word comes first? Where do I put this word with that word? Where do I do these things? Should this be a to or a for? Or when do I put these kinds of rules that you guys spend a really long time memorizing, okay? So that's grammar knowledge, this explicit, memorized rule set, okay? And over here, we have proficiency, or sometimes it's called linguistic performance. But what I'm talking about here is your actual ability to use the language in real life. Okay, so that's one side, is proficiency versus grammatical knowledge. Now, for a very long time, and still in many parts of the world, grammatical knowledge is the key. The belief is that in order for you to get proficient, you have to have grammatical knowledge first. You have to memorize, you have to know these rules, and where does this go, and how do I conjugate this, and all these pieces. And then after that, you can move on to proficiency, right? And having good linguistic performance in speaking, communication. And for hundreds of years, that has been the prevailing idea. Throughout all of Europe and most of the rest of the world as well. To the point where in World War II, you had the United States and Brazil and England and France and Spain and all of these other countries throughout the world are going against Germany and Italy and Japan. They're like, oh no, the Germans, they've invented this new code. They're communicating with each other, but we don't understand it. Hey, let's go find someone who speaks German. So they go to the universities. They say, hey, university people, you have degrees. You know German. Come figure this stuff out. So the university people go there and they go, I don't know what's going on. I can't understand. Like, wait, what do you mean you can't understand? This is German. You have a degree in German. You have a PhD in German. I don't know what this is. All I know is the grammar. I can't understand what they're saying. And the army, right, in the time of war with battles and people being killed, are like, what do we do? What's going on? And they had to search very hard to find people in the United States and England and in all these other countries, all the different people who could actually speak German. And they realized very quickly that you can have all the grammatical knowledge, all the grammar knowledge that you want, but if you can't do anything with it, what's the value? What's the value of all this grammatical knowledge? And that was a major turning point in language education in the United States and England and most of Europe and a lot of other countries in the world. But this idea still stays in a lot of these older English schools where you have to do grammar, you have to do grammar, you have to do grammar. I feel very fortunate where in my training as an English teacher, I was taught that proficiency is what matters. Grammar is great and it's a tool for helping us get here, but it's just one tool. It's a good tool, but it's only one. There's lots of others that we can use. But this is the goal. And being able to learn the grammar, understand a rule, and then apply it is very important. But why? Why doesn't this work? Now, the reality and what we've learned over the past 20, 30 years is through brain scans and MRIs and functional MRIs and all these different things that we've learned through technology and the works, is that there's a part of our brain that specializes in language. And that part of our brain is better and higher functioning and more efficient at processing language than our abilities for memorization. In other words, that part of our brain, which can naturally process language, can learn language faster, better, more easily, more efficiently, and more practically than just memorizing the rules. In other words, if we just focus on that proficiency and push toward that, we can reach that proficiency and use grammar as a tool, right, to help us get there. But we'll be able to reach that point much faster if we just let our brain do what it does best, right? Just let the brain learn the way it's supposed to. And then people will learn better. So that idea came about 20 years ago. And over the past 30 years, we've had just an explosion of proficiency, and people have been able to learn languages so much faster because we're not focusing on the grammar anymore. Grammar's still there. It's important, and it's especially useful. Teacher, why does this work this way? Well, the grammar works like this, this, and this. And they go, oh, okay, that's helpful. But the purpose is to make that understanding. Oh, I get it. Bam, now use it. This is our focus. We're not focusing on the grammar. The goal is not to memorize rules. The goal is to talk to people. The goal is to write emails, or to write letters, or to write books, or to make friendships, or talk to family, or get a good job, or find new clients, or whatever. It's to do something with the language. And that's what we do at English Speaking Secrets, English Hackers. The whole goal, everything we're doing is make you proficient as fast as possible. We use grammar because grammar can be useful, but sometimes it isn't, and we ignore it. I have, even today, I have students who come into my classes and they'll ask me questions. Well, teacher, this sentence right here, that's a third conditional something. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is. I have students who've memorized rules of grammar that I've never even heard of. And I'm pretty good at English, right? And I'm an English teacher. And it's because we know that grammar is useful and it's good. But we don't even teach that intense grammar stuff even to teachers anymore. We just don't do it because we know that there's better tools, that there are other ways of doing this that are faster, easier, more practical, more efficient, just awesome over here. And yeah, we'll use grammar sometimes. But those things are not necessary. So if you're getting pushed, oh, you have to memorize this, you have to do this class, you have to do this assignment, you can't do anything until you memorize all this grammar that I'm teaching you, then you know you probably have a teacher or you're using a book that's just out of date and it's too old. Move on and find some stuff that's newer, because the newer things are so much better, so much better. Okay, so that's kind of the message for tonight. Focus on your proficiency. Focus on actually being able to communicate. Grammar is useful, awesome, right? Nothing wrong. I teach grammar, it's good. This is why we learn grammar, right? We learn so that we can talk to people. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you another day.